God.
But this is the specialist, the character specialist, I will say.
Of course.
It might
D-Dog.
actually be his fifth because he has a sick wolf.
Oh,
too.
yeah, that is true. It's debatable.
Yo,
but
can we see the Smurf poster pockets? Like
too deep. They're still going through.
They're still
Yeah.
going.
Going down.
But this is pretty interesting because, as you said, D-Dog, relatively newer on the scene. Rivers been playing so long. He's actually just from Jersey before they named it New Jersey.
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
He's a classic.
Yeah. Many tags, many characters, many games.
The James. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, honestly, what your joke just now just like gave me these like flashbacks. You know the art of the like people putting up the American flag. That's actually just put Rivers' face right there because he's been playing for so long.
It's just the New Jersey flag.
Yeah, it's the New Jersey flag. I think for everybody here on this couch, we've all been playing Smash for a very, very long time across a lot of games. You know Rivers, you know Shoyo James. This player carries such a legacy, kind of one of the first Diddy Kongs to really kind of do it at a certain level, right? I'm excited to see how Rivers is going to do, but I kind of want to throw it over to you, Ubel, as we kind of pose the question, how does Rivers beat D-Dog right now?
It's
okay,
hard.
great, thank you.
It's hard. So
You're so right.
You're asking me right now.
Yes, I'm asking you a question.
To dissect a matchup that has gotten so much attention from some of the best Diddy Kong brains in like Tweak and Dakpo and more.
Yeah, Takbo too, yeah.
And they haven't been able to figure it out yet. So
Great.
it's tough. There are things that of course Rivers can do, play hyper mobile to try and play around D-Dog, almost guaranteeing that they get something like Diamond and just letting them get a bunch of resources because you will always have higher mobility. There are ways to destroy blocks that almost all blocks on the screen or in a certain area in a massive burst with the barrel straight into them. You take 6%, but you lose the entire wall defending you. Like, there are little ideas and little things that Diddy Kong can do, but I feel like unless Rivers is absolutely ready and willing to play to time, it's going to be a long set for him.
Yeah, it's looking like a long set right there. But one of the biggest, I think, faults of D-Dog that he still likes to do is you're going to see a lot of spot dodge cancel with him. As you see it right there, he loves his spot dodge cancel up tilt, and that's how he nets a lot of his damage. It is a really strong tool with Steve, but if you manage to catch that spot dodge at a good time, and put in a lot of work against D-Dog Steve in particular.
Yeah, and I mean, if we can see this pressure keep up from Rivers, I think we'll see a very different game than maybe some people were expecting. Finding those small lanes in between the blocks is so important too, knowing the height of where monkey flip or monkey kick or even just banana toss can kind of force the issue a little bit. Very important stuff. So we see a little bit of a small lead here in about the first 50 seconds. Let's see how the momentum shifts though. Now we got center stage for D-Dog.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a good start for Rivers because I still feel like he's testing the water specifically of this matchup, and we're able to find the first stock. Now all we have to do is hold on for dear life, right? We have to just accept that D-Dog is going to find a little bit of this chip damage and then really start to kind of find these decisive hits that could swing the tide of the battle, but it's about how Rivers recovers from the scramble that will make all the difference. And honestly, the recovery from the scramble there and able to at least swing about almost and now 50% of damage, we are definitely on the right track for a good win this set.
Rivers setting up for that defensive New Jersey that's been slowly heading through the entirety of top 8. Typically you see this kind of sway into where the New Jersey peaks can sometimes be astronomically high, but they're surrounded by other, we're surrounded by other regions, but Rivers is keeping that train going, gets shield poked by the anvil, but doing 106 and establishing a firm lead and a firm tempo is more than you could ever ask for against Steve.
Yeah, no. Once you have control, like against Steve, the game does get a lot easier because Steve technically, eventually will have to play at your pace, but he can also just wall up, as you saw, like D-Dog try to do. But unfortunately, it is not working. It is all Rivers right now.
Yeah, I'm loving the change of pace, man. We don't have time to talk because he just keeps putting the pressure on and then still finding small moments to kind of back up, re-grab the banana, and set up again. Like right here, we'll see, okay, maybe if he doesn't get beat up for too long, he kind of resets, monkey flips, gets the banana under control, and then it just kind of resets with generally small risks, although that dash attack is a different story.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, right, I'm looking it's all Rivers, right? The pacing is all Rivers. And I feel like for someone who a little bit earlier was controlling so much of the tempo like D-Dog was in his previous matches, now D-Dog is kind of at the wave side of Rivers. Still going to be able to live it out, but will be the follow-up here that does take it. Rivers game 1. Reggie, question for you. Where does D-Dog go now? Do we go back to Pokemon Stadium 2 where it's a little bit wider while Rivers has a lot of time and a lot of space to really kind of pick the approaches smart? Or do we go to a smaller stage and start boxing with up tilt?
I think it depends on the bands. If Rivers, the bands like FD, I think we're probably just going to run it right back because D-Dog does like PS2 as a stage generally. And it looks like I'm correct right here because we're going right back.
Yeah, we're rocking in Pokemon Stadium 2, and like it's hard to not as Steve a lot of the times. Like the block health that you get is super good with it being an entirely stone composition, so you get the second most block health just to use, and the best stray block typically to utilize. The space that you gain and can gain at a moment's notice is insane. That was almost like a very cheeky extension there from D-Dog as well, utilizing the block setup into the up toss of the banana to potentially further the extension. But even still, like it's D-Dog showing a lot better of initiative in this game because he's not letting Rivers just completely dictate the tempo of the game. He's more willing to press buttons and to get into Rivers' space without pressing a defensive option first.
Yeah, initiative is the perfect word, Ubul. I am loving all of the options that we're seeing. Rivers kind of getting smothered by a lot of the blocks that are now sort of offensively placed as opposed to defensively placed. Kind of getting, put in the corner, so to speak, metaphorically and in actuality too. So one big swing.
Slow stock 1 here. I like how Rivers threw the banana. It hit Syrup, or God, Syrup. It hit D-Dog and then was like, all right, wait, what exactly are you going to do here? D-Dog, though, with the first stock right now, but going to actually minecart away. I have to say, there's a lot of distinct differences between the two Steves right now, but Syrup, God, I keep doing it. D-Dog just really trying to get started here. We'll be able to find the sliding up smash or even stock, Zubo.
Yeah, I continue to go back to the way that Mataneva described it, where like a lot of times D-Dog can feel very direct in his approach, very much like a blunt force object, like always looking for the hitboxes to connect to the two or three combo hit combos as opposed to the long-standing like block conversions, looking for like nair forward air and things of that nature, minecart forward air, and that type of stuff is really effective at just making sure the opponent is always on the back foot rather than always trying to set up some grand contraption that we always watch Syrup do. You know what? It's just as effective as the long-standing setups because that was just anvil into forward smash, cover jump, and cover neutral getup, and then turning around the minecart as well. That was so cheeky from D-Dog.
Yeah, that's been a new setup I've seen the Steves do a lot more. They've been putting the minecart into the wall and then just have it fit right back at you.
Honestly, that saw trap may have had fewer pages in the instruction booklet, but it is just as effective. So really nice creativity there. Still keeping it close, though. I'm really liking these deep banana tosses from Rivers to make sure that D-Dog doesn't get to mine for free. However, some pretty ambitious swings ends up being Rivers taking a stock with an up air and some interesting DI.
That was straight up. That was like literally straight up. And I think Ultimate definitely has some certain DI where the correct DI is up and away. Not on that. Definitely not on that one.
That was a Heaven's DI.
If it's anything
Travis Scott DI. Oh, what the?
Oh, fall. Okay, plot. I've never seen plot armor before versus Steve. That was insane. Okay. It was like literally not yet, but you got to watch out for the minecart as well. I mean, River's going to get hit by the anvil, but it actually gives him some time to pluck a banana. And now we have to see how D-Dog doesn't crack under pressure here, right? We've seen a couple of opportunities where that could have been stopped. And Rivers is living it out, but you are stuck between a rock and a hard place, and now it's all Rivers. You have to watch the shield, though, Ubul. It's getting really, really low.
Yeah, I almost want Rivers to take some time to get some of that shield health back. Rolling through the minecart there was super clutch to not let it hit his block. We see him go back and forth, destroying all of those blocks in one fell swoop, trying to consistently cross up D-Dog. Something that D-Dog has not represented across all of these sets is footstool anvil out of shield. And I mean, if D-Dog is not going to represent that, then I hope that Rivers takes that into account in later games, as it means he can freely cross up D-Dog and have it pay for his advantage rather than having Steve destroy him for it.
Yeah, I was just looking right there. It looked like if you looked at the player cam, you would have thought D-Dog was the one that lost. He looked so confused for like what happened there.
We've certainly had some very interesting angles on getting hit by certain moves today. I've seen a lot of things that I'm like, huh, got it.
That's what keeps me coming back every weekend. It's surprised every time.
It's like a box. Ultimate is a box of chocolates. Right. You never know what you're going to get.
And it's a game that keeps on giving.
Yeah, and we're going right back. I thought given the humongous stage list, we'd see a change of pace, but it's going to be Pokemon Stadium again. I think the block health is very important too, because we saw there at the very end, we kind of had Rivers stuck behind those stone blocks. We saw one of the up specials from Diddy break one wall, but you don't want to necessarily throw it out too often. So I think the counter pick still kind of works out a little bit for the both of them, but we saw a little bit more for D-Dog's favor last game.
I feel like I have to go back to this point that I think in game one, Rivers was the one defining tempo, and now it's all D-Dog. Now it's really like playing the D-Dog's pace, and when we're able to find the initiation in, like the dash attacks, they look really good, but we're not seeing the follow-ups anymore like we were seeing a little bit before. We haven't seen that giant Diddy Kong string, and now it's all Rivers going to be stuck between a column and a minecart, and that's just going to be it at that point. And now we are seeing kind of the dominance of Steve here, because honestly, D-Dog hasn't taken much percentage for a character like Diddy Kong to really kind of, get rid of as quickly as possible.
This stock is only really getting closed out to a banana conversion at the time, at least. And we found a couple in order to set up for exactly that. Recognizing the neutral getup, finds the Z-drop into forward smash. D-Dog, to your point earlier, Reggie, has been focused a lot on neutral get up spot dodge up tilt as his main get out of the corner option to threaten that hitbox, and Rivers has found the timing to punish that pretty consistently.
Yeah, no, it's been, I feel like, a crux of his for a while. Many players do know about it, but still, he's able to get away with it because the option is so strong. But if you get really good at punishing that timing, it can be the key to beating D-Dog right now.
Talk about, D-Dog kind of dictating the momentum. I definitely would have agreed, but if you only showed me the last 30 seconds, I don't know if I would have believed it. This is a very big change of pace. Now Rivers kind of on the offensive, finding that sweet spot, the spacing on the side specials, the up specials, all of it scouted out so perfectly right now. Back to it. Pretty sizable lead here, 2 stocks to 1. If you can hold on to this stock, no diamond tools to really worry about. So you could be able to live a little bit longer and try and get a more substantial lead.
Yeah, I like how you're kind of mentioning the diamond tools, AG, because I feel like Rivers isn't really too pressed about it, right? He's trying to find a appropriate way to break the wall, but you got to look at the rest of D-Dog's material bar too. Beautiful catch on the monkey flip with the back air from D-Dog. But now here comes the first diamond here, and he's going to take the express train to go get that diamond tool. But look at Rivers, man. Rivers not straight at all, has a little bit of a stock to work with as well. And if I'm Rivers, honestly, I'm going to come to terms with the fact that I may lose this stock, but let me go out with a lot of extra credit. Going to get actually bounced off the block here. No tech, but that's going to give Rivers some time once again to try and get something going. It's only been just unfortunate for D-Dog because the columns have only been saving Rivers.
Yo, shout outs to Rivers just being so brave and brazen throughout all of these column interactions. He is willing to put himself literally between a rock and the hard place and make these walls work for him at the expense of weird interactions, awkward tech timings, and definitely some awkward anvil in set play. It allowed him to survive to 160 and close out that stock.
Yeah, no, fantastic job. You said before if you put a Steve in his path, he would probably fold. But he's doing
apparently he said that.
Yeah. Well,
he said, give me a bracket of no Steves and see what happens. That was apparently the quote. I didn't say it.
He's doing a fantastic job right
now. Yeah,
now.
I have to say, I think a really good point that I just want to kind of talk about was the fact that he really, also, James didn't tech off of any of those walls either. Bro just got ping-ponged against all of them all the time and was like, all right, like whatever happens, happens at this point. And look at how fired up he is right now. Rivers, what an explosive start, AG.
Yeah, he said, thank you for setting up the cubicle. I'm putting in work. I do not care. I'm not here to tech. I'm here to scrap. I'm getting right back to the action. I'll take my 15 maybe, but I'm clogging in no matter what. Looking really good. Dead even here in this game. Pretty roaring start from the two of them. I think they both have something to prove.
Yeah, they definitely do. D-Dog definitely wants to run it back against Syrup, who he played earlier and got knocked down to losers. And Rivers was the old guard. He was once #1 out here. Definitely feels like he has a place at the top of the mountain. So definitely an exciting match.
Yeah, just goes to what I was saying a little bit earlier. Like sometimes Jersey just, you have these insane peaks with these players, and typically the two players lately have been Syrup and Jackal, but Rivers coming back from Florida and saying, "Hold my beer." Like I've got so much experience in this game, and I can apply it to any situation at any time and against any opponent, and watch me go.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that point, Ugo. I think I said this a little bit earlier that the fundamentals never truly go away if you're just locked in, right? And I don't feel like Rivers is necessarily beating the Steve matchup. He's beating the D-Dog matchup. He's really taking and prying his time here, but I do have to give D-Dog his flowers a lot. We're talking so much about Rivers. We gotta talk about how D-Dog is really up right now. Definitely looking like a much better material bar, as well has the insurance diamond ready to go for next stock. Definitely looking a lot more centered, definitely a little bit more calm, and not the one to kind of overcommit anymore. Instead, we're just waiting for Rivers to be the one that monkey flips in or toss a banana or something, AG.
Yeah, definitely kind of letting Rivers dictate the pace, but being better in the responses to it. Kind of slowing down, putting up the shield a little bit, and just throwing out these little jabs or some better punishes out of shield. Looking a lot better so far, and I don't blame Rivers for trying to force the issue when you're behind that much, but it just got a little bit worse.
Yeah, it looks like the adaptation from D-Dog is coming in right now. And we're about to see one of the crazy speed combos right there. He's going for game right there. But he's not even going to build a block. He's going to lose the stock right here, but he's going to spawn the crafting table, and another diamond's on deck that Rivers has to fight now.
Yeah, he's been playing around a lot of different stuff, and eventually the Steve mental stack just wears you down to a exponential degree. A solid conversion, though, and this is no raw materials on the side of Steve. Very few. I guess a chance with those, some of these diamond tools, but with no blocks placed, this is where Diddy Kong can really play that mid-range game, and you can see that play out in immense fashion. You play the mid-range, you force him off stage, and then you go for the throat. Rivers down 100%, but not out of it.
Oh my God, I'm offended for D-Dog. That felt so personal. That one hurt. But still though, D-Dog in such an advantageous position. You have the column behind you, nowhere else to go. We are going to a game 5 here, but I gotta say it, for a game that started so heavily in D-Dog's favor, Rivers X Factor, if y'all have ever played Marvel vs. Capcom, the X Factor meter popped in that moment and just said, hey, wait, hold on, I'm up.
He's motivated, dog.
It is pretty interesting, too. Just shout out to my...
Nice one, Henry. I'm proud of you.
Smash is such a lovely game because
Yes,
just like
it is.
in Donkey Kong Country, the lava hurts. So that was a really cool feature that they put in there. As we saw, it really hurt Rivers. Did a ton of knockback and damage, and you know, maybe don't get hit by lava this time. We'll see. Is game 5? It all comes down to this.
Honestly, I need AG to commentate Smash for kindergartners. Please be so sick.
I already am. Who do you think's watching?
Oh my God, that's crazy. Still though, Reggie, I'm super excited to see how this game 5 is gonna go. What is going to win it for D-Dog here?
Right now, he needs to find a way to like cage up basically Rivers' movement and just restrict them from doing all the banana shenanigans he has been doing. He's now seeing a lot more walls come out from D-Dog, and he's playing a bit more defensive than he was before in the previous game.
No, and check out how he's like playing up and down these platforms a lot more effectively now. It's been layering that verticality just a little bit more, so you can reliably stuff out and call out some of these monkey flips high up the stage in order to see Rivers disengage. So now Rivers playing much lower to the ground to compensate, which is where D-Dog wants him to be.
Yeah, we saw some really nice anti-air too, sort of like building that wall and then going for the jump up air, really into those vertical combos. I think the walls are really the difference maker here for D-Dog. Even some of these separation, the blocks, really good stuff to try and cut off some of the paths from Rivers, but sometimes just swinging will work out.
First stock here is going to be so important. F Smash not going to be able to do it just yet. We'll have the diamond ready to go, but now it's all about Rivers. How do you really want to take this first stock? Is it worth it to go in the pit right now? Thinking about it, the up smash, but the trip and the banana. Once again, I'm seeing a lot of plot armor for Rivers coming out this set so far. Being able to kind of escape the columns of doom, essentially. Both of them just swinging for the fences right now. Rivers waiting for the reliable trip, but D-Dog, and I think somebody over here was calling it out, the way that now D-Dog is not only controlling the ground with a certain block or TNT, but now actually just sending out minecart to stop the jump. Now you're controlling practically the entire stage, and Rivers now once again has to go around the jungle chip.
The way that Rivers is like having to adapt here is in an interesting way how he's been playing a lot of these scrambles between these columns, as you've been mentioning, Lyric. He's going in with reckless abandon. He wants to establish to D-Dog that he's never scared to interact and to engage. So some of the seemingly random up smashes are pretty well scouted when it comes to like the tempo that he's trying to set. It's only a matter of time though to see if it'll pay off.
Yeah, but this is now game 5, and it might not just pay off right here because D-Dog has the lead percent-wise, and he is establishing such a wall right now, and multiple diamonds are now stacked on deck right here.
Yeah, and the diamonds really do just kind of cascade because they tack on so much damage so fast. It makes your opponent want to kind of take a step back and, recollect themselves, but that gives you more time to find more diamond right there. We saw them craft it immediately, another diamond on backup, and Rivers is going to try to make something happen. Big opportunity there.
Huge opportunity, AG, and honestly, if I'm Rivers, it's time to go, but it's time to go into the blast zone and start this final stock. If anything, that Rivers can absolutely do it, has probably come back from worse. The up smash not going to be able to do it without any rage to go with, but here comes D-Dog, getting a little bit of damage before it will be Rivers being able to break the combo. The F smash not going to be able to do it just yet, but now D-Dog has a second chance to get a lot of extra credit for this, and instead we're just going to find another trip into combo. We're going down to last stock, Ubel. What do you got?
It's doable.
Absolutely. It's doable, all right.
The doability chart.
The doability, I love it.
we're going to the moon.
Can
right
we
now.
do it? It's a doability chart.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Top the abilities.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, no, James starting to take the lead right now, and momentum is going on his side. But the spot dodge cancel up tilt from D-Dog definitely playing off strong. And extension with the crafting table. They're just going back and forth right now.
What a grab! Beats out the monkey flip. And this is exactly what I always talk about with, going up against Steve. This third stock is so important. The resources are low. If you do give him time now, it's just all stone. It's going to be so hard to get around the TNT covering the regular get up. The minecart coming in. That's got to do it. Oh, no. What a pickup from D-Dog.
No.
He played that set. Honestly, the best I've seen him play against Steve in a long time.
I'll say ever.
Yeah, it's up there for sure. And you know what? We'll use it. Best I've seen him play against Steve ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just came down to like a couple of inches at times. I loved the shift back to a look that D-Dog hadn't gotten since game number 1. I think AG, you were the one that called out those long distance banana tosses that to stop D-Dog from just disengaging for free with something like an Elytra or a minecart, like making sure to always keep the broad side of the stage in mind, like always compensating for the full amount of space in Pokemon Stadium 2. It was so nice, but at the end of the day, like if you're getting into a trade war with Steve, you're gonna lose.
Yeah, no, that character definitely one of the, I'm gonna say, scummiest when it comes to like trading.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
Say your truth.
It is true though. Like this guy, if he was a card vendor, he will rip you off.
They're not fair trades. Yeah, you know, you're talking TCG low, you know. I'm doing TCG mid, you know. It's rough. It's kind of the cost of doing business, though, you know. If you give them the time to get those diamond tools, it kind of just turns into this mounting problem that when it gets to that last stock, you're going to have to figure it out. And sometimes you don't figure it out, or sometimes you may not like what you figure out. Unfortunately, despite a great run, Rivers is going to go down. But we got good news for the D-Dog fans as D-Dog goes on to losers finals.
Yeah.
2 Steves and God, who's that? And Ness.
And 1 psychic boy.
Oh my God, two Steves and okay, is it like 2 Steves, 1 Ness, or like 2 Nesses and a half with Ness because Syrup plays both? You know what I mean? And is Syrup gonna ditto D-Dog if D-Dog beats Chris?
Oh, if he's gonna, is he gonna mirror Chris or is he gonna mirror D-Dog?
Is Syrup going to mirror D-Dog if D-Dog beats Chris in Grants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think Sierra's playing Steve no matter what.
All right.
Yeah.
What do I know, man?
Because I'm pretty sure Syrup and D-Dog played earlier in bracket in top 8